This is the part of our crypto journey that's going to be really fun. When we turn the corner and it's no longer arguing about theory on paper, but it's about actually using blockchain technology to build the future. This space is going to come alive, and we see one of the first use cases where I think we're going to see an explosion of real world use case, and that's this report by Grayscale, Public Blockchains and the Tokenization Revolution. Of course, we have XRP, the originator of this idea, taking real world assets, tokenizing their ownership and bringing them on chain. Hedera is going to be a killer within this space. And also Ethereum right now, probably the leader right now in tokenizing assets. You're going to lower costs, instant settlement. You're going to give people access to financial markets they never had before. And value will flow and become much more liquid than we're accustomed to. It's a wildly different future. And this is huge, the tokenization of real-world assets, bringing them on chain. One of the early movers here, one of your biggest, is BlackRock. Right now they have their BUIDL platform, which is a tokenized securities platform. They're tokenizing securities. And this is just their first foray into this area. They see ETFs as a technology, and they will be tokenizing all of their offerings in as many assets as they can. It's a little dystopian, but it's the direction they're going to go. Of course, Ethereum is their blockchain of choice. It's where they're building right now. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the future, but while Ethereum, of course, has monster companies like BlackRock looking to offer tokenized assets on chain, Ripple has countries. And we see Palau, that stablecoin, that CBDC platform that they're working on, and that's just the one you know about. Trust me, it ain't just Palau. It's the biggest and baddest countries out there. I know the U.S. is talking about there's not going to be any CBDCs in the future. That ain't going to happen. Doesn't matter if we like it, we don't. It's happening. They want to move us to a purely digital currency, one that they can monitor and trace, and that's the way this will play out over the long run. It's just going to happen, and Ripple's going to be at the forefront of that transition. Whether that's good or bad, it's going to be massive. And again, there's going to be a lot of people, I believe, that will tokenize all sorts of assets on the XRP ledger. It just won't be CBDCs and government type of programs. And to me, the XRP ledger is a really interesting option because out of all your different options here, it's the one that's not a smart contract blockchain, which means you should be able to scale and keep those costs low and those transaction fees low. So I think XRP has a really good place in this tokenization revolution that's ahead of us. The first major use case for this technology that has been proven, of course, is stablecoins. Look at your top assets in the world. Many of them are stablecoins, Tether being the biggest, Circle, there's a whole mess of them. You have PayPal that's entered this space. Ripple's getting ready to do the same, and they won't be the last. It's a great business. You hold on to people's capital or an interest off of it. And of course, they use your tokenized representation of that value. Down here in the far right, there's all sorts of planned offerings that are coming here shortly, from BlackRock's tokenized money market fund to real estate to gold ETFs that are going to be launching throughout the year. A lot of stuff already has come live, and there's much more on the horizon. And again, you can see accelerating payments, reducing cost, CBDCs and stablecoins. That's what this is. That's Ripple's focus right now, as they move into this space, real world assets in tokenized form. And the first foray will be stablecoin CBDCs, but it's not going to stop there. It's going to go precious metals. Stocks are going to be huge, of course, and also just all sorts of value, real estate, and the value will be much more liquid, and people will be able to access it and invest into areas they've been shut out in the past because of the high costs, the transparency, everything we get with this. Again, this is the future, and this is a killer use for blockchain. David Schwartz, talking about smart contract capability on the XRP ledger, he said, well, there's really two plans right now. One, EVM sidechain, of course. So you have the sidechain where you can execute all your smart contracts without affecting the performance of the XRP ledger. And then we have hooks. Hopefully you can bring that on to the mainnet here. Right now it runs on Zahao, and that's great. And they're testing it out, proving that it can be part of the mainnet without causing too many issues with performance, but we may see that come on chain as well. It gives us a lot of capability, not quite as much as you get with EVM, but there's a lot we can do here. And I posed the following question to David, and I know there are still reasons to build, specialized sidechains, of course, but I'm like, hey, let's pipe into Ethereum and make them our EVM sidechain. The value's already there, the building's already there. Let's just pull all of that over to the XRP ledger when you're looking to settle out transactions, move value efficiently. I really think that's the future. And we see Ripple invested in this Ethereum project, Beopal, which is some sort of messaging platform. It's an ERC20 project, of course. And I think you're going to see more of this cross-pollination between XRP, Ethereum, and many other blockchains out there. It's a multi-chain world, and you will see the winners kind of emerge and start to connect and leverage each other's strength. In my opinion, that's the way we'll see this play out. Only time will tell, to be honest with you. Now, we see this other Grayscale report is talking about the Ethereum ETF, just approved, hopefully starts trading sometime this month. And they expect it to have less demand than we saw from the Bitcoin ETF. About 25 to 30% of the demand we saw, that huge explosion of capital flow in it into Bitcoin. And they might be right here. Again, it seems like institutions, people that are new to cryptocurrency, they're much more comfortable with Bitcoin. But I've been saying, I like Bitcoin's value more than I like Ethereum, but I don't know about that. Because I'll tell you this, Ethereum, day one, they're not going to have staking rewards, but the time's going to come when they enable that. We saw in that proposed crypto bill, they talk about staking, and this is necessary and normal for, crypto networks. And BlackRock, Fidelity, they want in on that because they're going to have staking as a service. It's going to be regulated, and of course, they're going to take a cut of that. And they want their ETF to be as attractive as holding the asset directly. And so when you look at in the future, one of the fastest growing assets in the world, in the history of mankind, cryptocurrency is like nothing else we've ever seen. Ethereum is one of the leaders. And on top of just being able to invest in that in an ETF platform, you're also going to get staking rewards. Like once they enable that, that's going to be a huge demand. And you're not only getting a dividend essentially from this, but you're going to get paid out in more Ethereum, which is, again, growing faster than most other assets. I think that's going to be very attractive to institutional investors. We'll have to see it play out. It may take a while, but I think we'll get there. Now, this is a really interesting chart, and we see right now, if you look at the top of this, Ethereum is really pulling away from the smart contract sector in general, the competition. But I'll tell you, we see this happen throughout history, where each side will flip in each other. And that the sector of smart contract platforms, the competitive chains, they're going to flip this, and they're going to flip this chart, and you will see that as the competitors outgrow Ethereum at some point here during this bull run. I again am aiming for the end of this year and into 2025. It's just kind of my rough target there. But don't think this is game over and that whole sector is dead or something like that, and it's just Ethereum's game here. I'm telling you, that green line is going to, go ripping up like a rocket. And I would not be surprised to see it pass Ethereum in terms of growth potential here. Now, part of the Ethereum roadmap right now is these layer 2s and a lot of transactions. They're cheaper, more efficient over there, whether it's on Matic or Optimism or Arbitrum or one of these other layer 2s. And the problem is it's pulling a lot of the network activity and a lot of the fees that were essentially being earned by the mainnet before. Now those transactions are taking place on the layer 2, and it's causing a little bit of disruption, and it could harm the token value. And so the question is, where do we go from here? Because as more and more transactions start happening on layer 2, how do we make up for that volume on layer 1? And part of it is you just need a heck of a lot more transactions on layer 2, because eventually they settle on layer 1, right? Most of those will settle out. Can we get there? Can you get that much increase in transactions to happen? We've seen what happened with Coinbase, where they launched their base sidechain, making $30 million a month, just a few months in here. Wild success. I'm telling you, Larry Fink, he has his eyes on that. And he knows the volume they're doing right now on base, trading, nonsense, trading, frog coins and stuff. Like, he's going to kill that. He's going to blow that away. And if he builds his own layer 2 out, you can imagine trading all these ETFs and all those BlackRock assets on his own layer 2 that has its own specifications, the fees that are going to go along with that too. If Coinbase is making 30 million a month, this guy's going to make some magnitude higher. And so, yeah, I think we can see enough transactions on layer 2 where in aggregate, they're going to make up for that loss. I think it's going to be massive. And it's not just going to be people building out layer 2s on Ethereum. You're going to see people building side chains on the XRP ledger and building stuff directly on the mainnet and on Hedera and on a lot of these other blockchains, because it's going to be a huge business. Ethereum's just the first. And, Base is like the first example of that. But there's going to be a lot more. There's plenty of success to go around here. It's going to be a massive amount. It's like arguing early days, are you going to invest in Google or Amazon or Apple? Like, who cares? You're going to make so much money. It's stupid. Just make sure you don't have, Yahoo or something like that. Like, you want your winners. And I think that's all that's really going to matter here. I think we are going to turn the corner, and this is going to be a really fun time for blockchain over a very long period of time. Now, there's always going to be downturns. There's always going to be turbulence. There's going to be times when people are like, it's over. This is going to be, when you look out over the horizon a bit, it's going to be only up, and in a big way, in my opinion, especially as these countries start going live on the XRP ledger, especially as these BlackRock ETFs go live and they're tokenized and they're happening on, ETH layer 2s and things like that, and staking as a service goes live and payments start to pick up the pace. And there's just going to be a lot going on here. All the things we envisioned are just starting to happen now, and it's going to be massive. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.